Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 174. Remember who the F you are. Well, hello there. How's everybody doing? It is Monday. I'm recording this podcast on April 25th, 2022. And I got to tell you, I've been listening to Liz Gilbert's Magic Lessons podcast. Elizabeth Gilbert wrote Big Magic. Highly recommend that book, but she has a podcast that sort of follows up that book. And she opens up her podcast with a disclaimer. She says, remember, these are adult conversations and we use adult language. So, same thing here, my friends. We're going to be dropping some F-bombs. If you're going to be bothered by that, you might want to skip this episode or lean into the discomfort of hearing something that might put you on edge. Okay? Adult language coming your way. So my amazing husband has been going through it at work. And I just hate seeing his spark get dimmed. This guy is, he calls himself Positive Pete. He's a team player. He's all about motivating teams and listening and building up people. And, when he's feeling it and he's not in a good place, his spark gets really dimmed and it breaks my heart. So we were discussing that this weekend, and I felt inclined to remind him of who he was. Of course, I know this guy really well, and I'm very familiar with all of his accomplishments and endless 5-star reviews on LinkedIn, so I gave him an exercise to do, as one does who's a life coach, right? And he's married to one. And it was actually the same exercise that I gave my clients this past Sunday. We had a coaching call, and I gave them all this exercise too. So if you want to grab something to write with, I highly recommend you do that. You can do this exercise as well. So the exercise is this. Think about an obstacle you had last week. Just one obstacle. It could be, a difficult conversation at work. It could be something happening with your spouse or something with your kids, or you have an overdrink. Just bring up one obstacle or one thing that kind of rubbed you last week. Now, you want to write down all of your thoughts about it, okay? And after you do that, you want to name the feeling that you had during that conflict or that obstacle last week, okay? So name the feeling and then take a few deep breaths, just real big, deep cleansing breaths, and let those feelings move through you, okay? So you've brought this to your conscious awareness. You've named your feeling now. You've taken a few deep breaths to kind of process that feeling. Now, decide what you want to bring into this new week with you. Oh, and don't forget who the fuck you are, okay? He did this exercise. He came downstairs and he read it to me. And then after that, he felt ready to take his badass self into the week with a whole new energy. And we've been telling each other all morning, remember who the fuck you are. And then I sent an email out to my email subscribers, and the responses are blowing up my inbox. We forget who the actual fuck we are. And we need to be reminded that we are badasses. We are mothers and coworkers and wives and sisters and daughters and trauma survivors and go-getters and high-achieving badasses that know how to get shit done and go after it. So take a deep breath and remember. I had to be reminded recently too. I was at a networking event a couple of weeks ago and I shared my intention of what I wanted to get out of this event. And what I shared was I wanted to feel reinvigorated and like the badass I know I am. And then I proceeded to tell them a story about how I came to be at this event. And it was kind of a story for another day. And this other woman who was listening to me, she's like, you're already a badass just by doing what you just did. And I was like, hell yeah, I am. You're right. Remember who the fuck you are also applies to what you will or won't allow in your life. You don't need to take scraps, friend. You don't need to keep doing the same old thing with the hopes of getting a teeny piece of something that you want. Fuck that shit. Remember who the fuck you are. Don't take scraps. You don't need to sacrifice all of your emotional or physical energy with the hopes that someday or maybe you'll get that validation or happiness or acknowledgement. When you look at your relationship with alcohol, are you taking scraps? Do you need to be reminded that you are stronger than you give yourself credit? Probably. You can do hard things. You can go to a social function and not drink. You can decide to allow an urge on a Tuesday night. You can say no to the offer from your best friend to have another glass of wine. Remember who the fuck you are. You are a powerful, strong being. You know how to overcome obstacles. You know how to complete your mission. Don't let anyone or anything take that away from you. If your relationship with alcohol has been making you second guess who the fuck you are, it's time to take that back. Are you with me? It's time for you to say, nope, not going to let that shit rule me anymore. I get to decide. I get to determine what this looks like. Feel your power. Remember who the fuck you are. Remember who the fuck you are. Now feel that inside of you and make sure you sign up for the most fun and free challenge and take a short 3-day break from drinking. It's happening this weekend. It's called Wine Free Weekend. I don't care what you got planned. You can do this 3-day weekend challenge with me. I'm not going to be offering this again for a long time. Don't miss this chance to remember who the fuck you are with me and a bunch of other women all committed to do the same thing. So click through and sign up. Oh, I've updated my new walk and talk session calendar. Okay, so for May, if you want one of these private 50-minute, highly valuable sessions with me, go grab one. Click through and reserve your spot. I love you, friends, and remember who the fuck you are. Talk next week. Bye.